What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today is my 46th birthday, so I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot of work on the car, but I've been working on it for the last week. I'm going to go ahead and show you what work I've got done, and I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of video on while I'm welding all this shit in because it's not very interesting. At least I don't think it is. So once I get the floor completely welded in, I'll freaking show everything that I did and start mounting the rest of the stuff on the back. But let me show you what I've done so far. So I've started making the rear panel, got the bumper bracket bolted back in. I still have some fill-in work to do on that, but I started fitting the panels that will hold the rear seat. So I started fitting those. I've got those fitting actually really good. So I got to finish burning in the front up there on both sides, and I got to burn these in on both sides. And then once I do that, I got to burn in that floor right there where I sectioned it, burn that in and burn it into the front floor. And once that's done, I'll be able to start bolting everything in here. But I got all my wiring figured out for my dashboard. So I've been trying to figure out where all this wiring is going to go. And I've laid everything out. I've got it to where once I put the steering column in here, all the electronics will be hooked up except for the airbag and the light for the glove box, because that's the light for the glove box and the airbag, because I'm not putting any airbags back in this car. So yeah, it's coming along. It's a lot of work, but I still have a lot more work to do. But my main focus is going to be on finishing welding this in right here, and then getting the floor right there across the center patched back together. But everything seems to be coming along good, and I'll post an update once I get a little bit further. Do it that time? All right, I figure I should do an update since I've been welding on this thing for a while. So got the whole panel welded in except for right here around the transmission tunnel. I've been up underneath it welding all the stuff on the bottom, but I got this corner welded in. I've started fitting this to the sidewall. Now it looks ugly right now, but I'm gonna get all this fit there, and then fit here, and then get both of these panels to fit in against each other, and then it'll just drop off. And I'll probably clean this corner up right here and just cut it out because it's not hooked up over here. And then the interior panel is going to cover that. So and it's got a big 2x2 piece of steel square tubing directly underneath here, welded into the bottom of this panel, and it's welded into the front of this right here. So this is actually welded to the 2x2 panel, or 2x2 tubing. Same on that side. So I'm gonna continue working on this, get the rest of this welded in. Once I get all this welded in, then I'm gonna jump to the back and try and get the back welded in, and then I'll jump onto the sides and get the sides welded in, that side and this side. And once I get those welded in, then I'll start mounting the gas tank and the rear axle. I don't want to put the gas tank in here until I'm done welding, at least just so that I can test fit everything, because this is not going to be complete by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to get everything fit so that I can make sure it's going to work before I go grinding and freaking seam sealing and all that kind of crap, because I don't want to do a shit ton of work if it's not going to work, if the car's not going to work. All right, even though I know my welds look like shit, I got this panel welded in. I got this entire panel welded in on the top, on the bottom, and on the underside, inside the back side of the floor. So now all I got to do is fit this panel on that side, and then do the back where it attaches to the rear of the car, and then I should be able to start mounting the gas tank and the wheels and stuff. So I just ran out of welding wire after I've been doing a lot of work on this thing, so I wound up getting this entire front piece welded in. I still got to make the panel for over there, but it's welded in. I got all of this welded in and fit. I've got these upper panels welded in. I was starting to weld this one in and I ran out of wire, but I'm hoping to have all the welding on the back of the car done tomorrow. And if I get all the welding done on the back of the car tomorrow, obviously it's not going to be like ground down and seam sealed and all that. But if I get all the welding done, then I'm going to mount the gas tank and the rear axle and the brake lines and fuel lines and actually try and get this thing to start up. So we'll see. All right, everybody. So I just finished getting all this fit in, getting all that welded in, all that's welded in. So now the only other thing that I have left to do is finish the back here. And I've got a couple little spots up here that I need to weld on the bottom side underneath the car. And then I still got to make this panel for right here. All right, guys, that's probably where I'm going to stop this video. The beginning of this video was filmed back in April on my birthday. So, I mean, I've been working on this thing for friggin' 2 months. I'm getting there. I still have a little bit more welding to do, like I said in just the last little part of the video. I have some stuff to do underneath. And I need to do the rear of the car where it mounts up to the back panel. So once I get that stuff welded in, then I'm going to mount the fuel lines and the brake lines, and I'll mount the gas tank in there. Then I'm going to mount the rear axle in there. And I'm going to start figuring out drive shaft length, and I'll start figuring out how I'm going to run the exhaust so that I can get all that stuff made. And then I'm going to try and start the car and make sure it'll move around without anything hitting or anything like that. And once I verify all that works, then I'll tear the car apart and start fixing all my welds and grinding it down and doing seam sealer and all that stuff. So I want to get it to where I can actually move it under its own power just to make sure nothing's going to rub wrong or anything like that. And then once I do that, I'll tear it down. But I'm hoping to have this thing with the rear axle and the gas tank and everything in it in about 2 weeks. So I don't know that I'll have an update between now and then. I'll probably wait until I get the rear axle and the gas tank and all that stuff into the car before I post another update. But just know I'm making progress. It's slow and steady. That working on the Audi has slowed me down a lot. Because I've been trying to get that car going as my daily driver, because I really don't want to tear up my 2.7. There's nothing really wrong with my 2.7. It just needs maintenance, and I've been driving the crap out of that thing, so I need to chill out on driving it. I've put way too many miles on that car for my liking, but I need to replace the brakes. I need to give it a tune-up. It's leaking oil. I need to replace a bunch of gaskets and stuff. The turbos are getting tired, and I'd like to put new turbos on it, so I've got another engine that I built sitting over here on the side of me, and I'm actually going to put that in that car. And then my son just purchased a 2002 3.0 liter 6-speed red Ultra Sport, and we're going up to Kentucky on from the 25th to the 28th to go pick that car up. And when we get it back here, he'll drive it with the 3.0 for a while, as long as the 3.0 is good. And then we'll do the 2.7 swap probably when we move to Florida next year. So he'll probably be driving around on that 3.0 with the 6-speed, just stock for the time being, until we sell the house and move to Florida. And then when we get down there, once I get to Florida and I sell this place and I'm not in freaking debt up to my freaking eyeballs, I'll actually be able to do some pretty cool stuff on this channel. But right now I am in so much debt that all my money goes to paying loans and all that because of my divorce. So that's why shit's going real slow here. If I could just get out from underneath this freaking massive amount of debt from my divorce, I'd be able to do a whole lot more, and I'd be living a much more comfortable life. But at least I got to keep my house. That's the most important thing. So yeah, we're gonna go up to Kentucky, pick that car up, bring it back. I'm working on a video for the Audi, doing a piston soak, but I want to make sure that it works before I post the video on it. So got a lot of stuff going on, but I'll check y'all out in the next video. Have a great one.